Well, it's time for Bring It On, so we've got your email questions.
Yes, we do.
What's the first one?
All right, this is from Sarah. She says, I asked Jesus into my heart when I was 12. Instead of growing strong, I fell away for over 20 years and lived a life of self-indulgence and sin. God forgave King David for committing adultery, and God forgave Peter for denying Jesus. However, I feel King David and Peter stumbled for a short period of time with God. Is there any individual in the Bible who fell away for a long period of time and God forgave them? I can only find scary verses like Hebrews 6:4 and 6 that states if a believer falls away, it is impossible to renew them again to repentance.
Sarah, you're falling into a trap a lot of people fall into, that somehow or other you've committed the unforgivable sin, or you're the biggest sinner that ever happened on the planet, and there's just no way that a righteous God could ever forgive you. Here are a couple of thoughts for you. A day is like 1,000 years in God's eyes. So He dwells outside of time. He's not marking time against you and say, oh no, Sarah just went over 19 years, and so, okay, now the door's shut. She's never going to be able to come back. Here's another piece of math for you. 7 times 70. That's what Jesus said, the number of times we are to forgive, and that's for a recurring sin. So have you hit 7 times 70? Have you gone over that? And that'll get you up to 490 years. So, okay, look at the story of the prodigal who went away, spent the entire fortune, nothing left, then came to their senses, came to themselves, and came back and said it would be better as a servant in my Father's house. All you have to do is turn and come home and have that same thought. It would be better to be a servant in God's house. And you have that thought, you'll realize He's been watching, He's been waiting, He wants to receive you with open arms, He wants to put a ring on your finger, He wants to put a turban on your head, He wants to throw a big party for you. And just have that sense that you're back, and isn't it wonderful? And just make the vow, I never want to fall away again, I just want to stay in His kingdom.
That's right. And we don't know for sure how long the prodigal was away, or do we?
It takes a long time to spend your whole inheritance.
Exactly. So that's good news for all of us. All right. Well, Alice writes, God knows what's going to happen before it happens, right? He knew that Adam and Eve would eat the apple before they did. Why would God put the tree there, knowing it would bring sin and pain to us?
Alice, I actually think the bigger question is, why did He put the serpent there? It's more than just the tree. Here's a thought for you. I'm not claiming that I have all the answers to the question of evil, why evil exists. But here's the thought. Would choice be even part of the universe? Would free will be even part of the universe if that free will wasn't real? If we didn't have the capacity to make the bad choice, to disobey God, to not trust God. And if you don't have the very real capacity to do that, if God creates a universe where it would be absolutely impossible for us to ever choose against Him, then we would just be robots. We wouldn't be the free beings that we have. We wouldn't have free will. So think on that, and in thinking on that, resolve that you're going to obey God and you're going to believe God. Well, that's all the time we have, and if you want to get in touch with Wendy, all you have to do is go to her Twitter account.
Wendy GCBN. Wendy GCBN. Yeah, I need some new followers.
All right.
Gordon has more followers than me.
Oh, no, it's not a competition.